The grammar topic today is comparing two or more things, and the context is bears of North America. There are three types of bears in North America. The most common bear is the American black bear. Surprisingly, black bears aren't always black. They can be black, brown, or white. The second type of bear is called the brown bear or grizzly bear. Brown bears can be almost black, brown, or blonde. It's no wonder people get these two bears mixed up. No wonder means not a surprise. Mixed up means confused. The third type of bear is the polar bear. They are easy to identify because they only live in the Arctic and they're always white. Although black bears and grizzly bears can be the same color, grizzly bears are usually larger than black bears. They also have different ears and claws. Claws are the nails on an animal. The ears of a grizzly bear are small and rounded, but black bears have larger, pointed ears. Rounded is to have a shape like part of a circle. A grizzly bear has long claws that are easy to see because they can be up to 4 inches long. A black bear's claws are harder to see because they're shorter. The grizzly bear is on the California state flag, but unfortunately, the California grizzly bear is extinct. Extinct means not in existence. The polar bear is the largest type of bear, and it's in danger of becoming extinct due to climate change. Polar bears look white, but their hair is actually transparent and hollow. Transparent means clear, you can see through it. Hollow means empty in the center. The picture on the right is a magnified version of a polar bear hair. Their skin is black so it can absorb more heat. Absorb means to soak up. They also have a thick layer of fat to help keep them warm. Keep in this context means to continue or to hold. Their ears are small and rounded to conserve heat as much as possible. Conserve is another way of saying to save. Polar bears have small bumps on the bottom of their paws so they don't slip when they walk on ice. Paws are the feet of animals. Their claws are thick and about 2 inches long, and they use them to catch seals. The claws also come in handy when the bears are walking on ice. To come in handy is a phrase that means to be useful. So let's compare bears. Which bear is the largest? Largest means the most large. Which bear is the smallest? Smallest means the most small. Large, larger, and largest are words that compare things. Black bears are large. Grizzly bears are larger than black bears. And polar bears are the largest bears in North America. Words that describe nouns are called adjectives. There are some rules about adjectives that we use to compare things. The first rule is for one-syllable adjectives that are not a consonant-vowel-consonant combination, add ER for the comparative and EST for the superlative or the most. The vowels again are A, E, I, O, and U, and consonants are all the other letters. For example, hard, harder, the hardest. Long, longer, the longest. Short, shorter, the shortest. Black bear claws are long. Polar bear claws are longer than black bear claws. Grizzly bear claws are the longest. Another rule is if you have a one-syllable adjective but it is a consonant-vowel-consonant, double the consonant before you add the ER and the EST. Wet, wetter, the wettest. Big, bigger, the biggest. Sad, sadder, the saddest. Here are some examples of rule number 2. We had a lot of rain in 2017. It was a wet winter. That winter was wetter than in 2016, and Kentfield was the wettest city in the Bay Area. Rule number 3. For two-syllable adjectives ending in Y, change the Y to I and then add ER or EST. For example, pretty, prettier, the prettiest. Happy, happier, the happiest. Busy, busier, the busiest. Here's some examples of Rule 3. That restaurant is really good. It's always busy. It's busier in the afternoon than at night. The busiest time is during lunch. For adjectives with two or more syllables that don't end in Y, use more and the most for your comparative and superlative. For example, famous, more famous, the most famous. Successful, more successful, the most successful. Interesting, more interesting, the most interesting. For example, I think bears are interesting. I think dogs are more interesting than bears. I think monkeys are the most interesting animals. There are also a few irregular adjectives. This is not a complete list, but these are common irregular adjectives. Good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Little, less, the least. Here's an example of an irregular adjective. This restaurant is a little expensive. The steak is less expensive than the fish. The chicken is the least expensive dish. Let's practice. Let's fill in the blanks with the adjective at the top. You can pause the video between slides to think of the answer. A Bugatti Veyron is fast. It can go up to 268 miles per hour. A Hennessy Venomous is faster than the Bugatti. It can go over 270 miles per hour. And a Koenigsegg Agera is the fastest car. It can go up to 278 miles per hour. The adjective is nice. International Living magazine said Mexico was a nice place to retire. They said Panama was nicer than Mexico as a place to retire. They said Costa Rica was the nicest place to retire in 2021. The adjective is pretty. According to Verdissimo Flower Company, bleeding hearts are pretty. Hydrangeas are prettier than bleeding hearts. The prettiest flower is a rose. The adjective is ugly. These pictures are from the Petaluma Ugly Dog Contest. The judges thought Tostito was ugly, but not as ugly as the other two dogs. They thought Wild Thing was uglier than Tostito. Scamp the Tramp was voted the ugliest dog in 2019. He won $1,500. The adjective is beautiful. Pansy Island in Mozambique is a beautiful beach. Honokolani Beach is more beautiful than Pansy Island. And many people think El Nido in the Philippines is the most beautiful beach. This is an irregular adjective. The adjective is good. According to U.S. News Magazine, nurse practitioners have a good job. Software developers have a better job than nurse practitioners. Physician assistants have the best job in 2021. For the adjective bad, a Brazil mosquito researcher has a bad job. Mosquitoes bite them. A cat food quality tester has a worse job than the mosquito researcher. They have to smell the cat food. A manure inspector has the worst job. They have to test for diseases before the manure can be used for fertilizer. And that's it. You are the best. Thanks for watching.